When it comes to mental disorder, I feel that a lot of times in religious circles or environments, the mental state of individuals is something that is not properly addressed or not addressed at all. It is very important that when we talk about the well being of a person, the well being of you, the well being of anybody, that you look at your spirit, your soul, and your body. You have to take in consideration the mental aspect of who you are, the soulish realm, your mind, your will, and your emotions. Unfortunately, a lot of times in religious circles, you have the extremes of everything's a demon, or, they totally ignore the fact that someone might actually need deliverance, and, everything's totally psychological, but it really is a combination of the two. We are triune beings, we have a soul. We are a spirit, first of all. We have a soul and we live in a body. And so when we talk about the well being of who we are, we need to really address all aspects of that, the spiritual realm, the physical realm, and the soulish realm. My name's LK Way. I'm the wellness writer for the True Age Now blog, as well as the wellness coach for my own personal brand, Well House. And today I want to focus on psychosis. I want to dive deep into what psychosis is and bring some understanding about proper methods and approaches to take to psychosis. Now, first and foremost, I am not a doctor or a therapist, but I am a wellness coach, and my job is to help you with your wellness journey. So proper diagnosis of having psychosis is something that needs to be done by a medical professional, not by this video. So let's talk about what psychosis is. Psychosis is something, or a mental disorder, not something, but a mental disorder that is classified as having hallucinations. Overall, you have a disassociation with reality. You don't know what's real versus what's fake. It is confounded with confusion. You are confused. You don't know what's real. You don't know what's fake. You have hallucinations. I have a hard time saying that word. Hallucinations. You may hear voices. Also, people that have psychosis have, and I'm sorry if you hear the thunder. It's like storming out here. So if you hear, it's storming outside. So hopefully I can finish this video. But some of the things that people experience with psychosis is they have, of course, confusion, depression, oppression, such strong confusion in their mind, intrusive thoughts. The brains are really just could feel like a complete entanglement of all these different thoughts, and they're not easy to sort out when somebody's dealing with psychosis. Just a lot of different thoughts in their mind kind of jumbled all together. Like you can look at it like a bunch of wires in there. Instead of everything going to its proper place, it's just jumbled all in. And that type of behavior comes out in their mouth when they have episodes. So a couple of things I want to bring your attention to today is I really want to look at psychosis, and I want to talk about a holistic approach to dealing with psychosis. And when I say holistic, I'm not just talking about natural methods. I'm talking about holistic as in looking at the whole being, considering the spiritual aspects of this, the mental aspects of this, and the physical aspects of this. Now, with that being said, I first want to look at the mental aspects of somebody with psychosis. When you have psychosis, and this is what I believe psychosis to be. Because psychosis is when someone is hallucinating. They are hearing voices. They are seeing things that other people cannot see. And I do believe that people that are experiencing psychosis are indeed engaging with the supernatural realm. You have to understand that in wellness circles and in medical circles, those who do not acknowledge the realm of spirituality do not consider that realm real. So because they do not consider that realm real, when individuals are experiencing that realm and you take that information to someone who does not acknowledge that realm, they're going to say, well, you're imagining that you can't possibly be seeing that, because the only thing that you can see is what everybody else can see. And that's not true. We see in the scriptures with Elijah and Elisha, how Elijah had opened the eyes of Elisha so that he can see the army of heaven, right, in the sky. We know for a fact that there is an angelic realm. There are angels around us. There are demonic forces around us. There is a realm around us. The scriptures tells us that everything that is seen comes from that is not seen. So everything that we see literally comes from a realm that we cannot see with our natural eyes unless the Lord decides to open that up. And I do believe those who are dealing with psychosis have had the spiritual eyes opened up. Now, I believe the manifestation of psychosis is the result of demonic entities who have taken advantage of someone's mental state. If you look at people that have psychosis, typically psychosis is kind of the aftermath or the consequence of other mental conditions like depression, trauma, somebody that maybe experienced abuse, physical abuse, spiritual abuse, someone has entertained drugs or has a lifestyle of dealing drugs or has been in the occult. If you study their lifestyle, if you ask them questions about what they've engaged in, you will see that they have open doors to allow their mental state to be compromised. These are things that can affect your mind. These are not only things that can affect your mind as far as your soul, your will, and your emotions, but these are things that can affect your actual organ of your brain. So your brain is not necessarily you. Your brain is an organ, but it's an organ that's a part of your body that very much affects you as an individual. When you engage in drugs, when you have trauma, when you have different lifestyle experiences that cause you to be in a sustained state of depression or oppression, it affects you chemically. It affects the chemical and balance in your body, which can affect your brain. It can affect the way that your brain functions. And if you look at people that have psychosis, you will see that they have that kind of at the bottom of the psychosis, or however you want to look at it. Like if you're looking, you're kind of diving deep into how did this come about? And you're just asking questions, or it can be something that is generational. Their dad had it, their mother had it, their auntie had it. In that case, you're looking at a generational curse, which that's a whole nother video. And yes, that is a real thing. Generational curses are the real thing. In my channel, I deal with spirit, soul, and body. So I cover everything. All right. So let's talk about how a person's mental state can be taken advantage of to the point where they end up in a state of psychosis. If you are someone, or if you know someone who has had these certain incidences in their life, the traumatic event, they've had extreme depression, they've had oppression, they've had many things in their lifestyle that have caused them to be in a state of perpetual stress, a perpetual fear, and perpetual anxiety, then this is a great door for psychosis, along with other things like drugs and messing around with the occult. They're opening themselves up to be where their mental state can be made worse by demonic entities. So when that happens, when someone with psychosis is seeking help and they want to be free from the psychosis, it's important that whoever is assisting them deals with that whole everything, deal with their mental state. You need to be looking for someone who's willing to deal with your mental state. If you're looking at this for a friend, you need to be looking at your friend, for someone that can deal with their mental state, a Bible faith-based therapist that can look into their mental health, look into their soul, help them process certain things that have not been processed, different wounds that need healing that they encountered psychologically in their lifestyle. You have to dig through that, process through that, because those are the unresolved issues that demonic entities like to attach themselves to and hide in and meddle in. And then you also need to look at the organ of the brain, the body. You know, when we are imbalanced, when we're in a sustained state of depression, oppression, stress, our bodies are creating or secreting hormones that really alter the well-being of our body. And we don't feel well. And when you don't feel well, that can exacerbate depression. That can make you feel even worse. So you need to get blood work done to see, or check your brain to see, do I have a chemical imbalance? What is causing my chemical imbalance? Maybe it's something in your diet that's aiding to your chemical imbalance. These are things that need to be addressed. And once these things are addressed, you can also look at or work with someone who specializes in deliverance, someone who is not foreign or ignorant to the spiritual realm, because make no mistake about it, entities, demons, devils, they do take advantage of us human beings when we are in a weakened state, when we're going through grief, when we're going through trauma, when we're going through depression, when we're going through confusion. These are normal things that we experience in our life. And sometimes they are made 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times worse because of different demonic entities that take advantage of us when we're in a weakened state. So to go ahead and kind of sum up what I'm talking about when I talk about psychosis, a couple of things I need you to take away from this video is you need to understand that when you're dealing with the well-being of yourself, You really need to look at three parts of your being. You need to consider three things. It's not just, okay, let me pop some pills. Okay, let me get cast out this devil. You need to look at your whole being. You are a triune being. There are at least three different categories of yourself that you need to look at. If you're watching this video for a friend, you want to look at these three things. You want to look at the soulless realm, the mental realm. What has happened? What was a door? What do you have? Deep unprocessed wounds? Do you have things that happened that maybe triggered you to spiral into a lifestyle that is dangerous to your health, dangerous to your body, dangerous to your organs, where you're chemically off balance? Think about what you've done, right? Process through these things. By processing through your open wounds and bringing them before the Lord, talking them out with a therapist, you allow yourself to be vulnerable to the healing that needs to take place. By bringing them up, by bringing them to the surface, by acknowledging what they are, by forgiving people that maybe need to be forgiven, by understanding why you did certain things. Work with a therapist, work with a faith-based therapist, take the things before the Lord, deal with the things that are deep within your soul. You need that restoration. Look at your body. You may be chemically off balance. Get that checked out, and then work with a deliverance minister or someone who you can trust that is not ignorant to the spiritual realm as far as demonic entities leveraging your situation, so that you can be delivered and set free from a state of psychosis. When you're seeing in the spirit realm, when you're hearing voices, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're insane. You really can be seeing into a spiritual realm. However, if you are mentally unstable and you're not able to handle the things that you're seeing in the spiritual realm, you have to get some help, because when the Lord opens your eyes, when he graces you to see into the other realm, it's not supposed to be something that keeps you so bound and locked up in your mind that you are mentally sick. It's not supposed to do that. So when the Lord opens your eyes, he will grace you to deal with the things that you see and encounter. But if you're not graced for it, if you're having these psychotic episodes and breaks, or you know someone that's going through that, they need to get delivered. They need to be set free in their mind. They need to address wounds that may be deep within their soul, and they need to make sure they don't have chemical imbalances within their body. My name is LK. I really hope this video was very helpful for you. If you did find the information helpful, please subscribe to my channel, like my video, subscribe to my channel. My name's LK. And again, I'm wishing you the best day. Have a great day.